Okay, coronavirus update. It's been quite a while. So, in a couple months actually. So let's see where we're holding. Today is December 22nd, 2020. Zayin Tavis, Tafshin Pei Aleph. The coronavirus has been upon us since roughly about Purim, since March of last year, of this year, whatever. We're in about 9.5 months later. Baruch Hashem, for the first time in history, a vaccine has been developed in less than a year. And when I mean developed, it means from start to finish, from the developing stages till its distribution, has been about 9 months, less than 9 months, as a matter of fact. This is Nisei Nisim, this is Ploi Sareno, this never ever happened in history. With all the bureaucracy and all the red tape and everything going on, this still happened, Baruch Hashem. Now, some background. March, April, May, there was disastrous death and infection here in the community and throughout the country. We lost the best of the best. We had the United for Protection Sefer Torah, Aschala Sefer Torah fundraiser for Hatzalah and concerts on Lag BaOmer, raised $15 million. Then Yossi opened a camp in the summer in YKK in Pennsylvania for about 800 kids. Which has a story behind it also. The other camps didn't want to join because Parks in Montreal weren't able to open. The summer was quiet, Baruch Hashem. There were for the most part, no infections, not in camps, not in the countries, not in the bungalow colonies. Yes, people took precautions. They asked guests not to come when they weren't feeling well. Tishrei began to pick up a little bit when guests started to come, so Yossi made a mass testing drive for the community in an attempt to keep the schools open. Baruch Hashem, the schools here in Crown Heights have not been shut. There's different protocols on when classrooms are closed, when a kid has to stay home to quarantine. And through Tishrei till now, it's beginning to happen more and more. The classes are being closed for a couple of days because a kid in the class tests positive for coronavirus, many a time asymptomatic, or that a child in the class has to stay home in quarantine because they've been exposed to somebody with coronavirus in their home. Chani, as a matter of fact, tested positive earlier this week on Hanukkah for coronavirus herself. On Hanukkah, Rabbi Lieberman passed away from COVID. There have been a few people that passed away here and there. Rabbi Leader passed away in the beginning of the year on Rosh Hashanah from it was from a heart attack, I believe. Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away. The Supreme Court Justice passed away on Rosh Hashanah, and Trump appointed a new Supreme Court Justice, Amy Coney Barrett. Unfortunately, was the Rebbe's Ratzon, but Trump lost the election. As of now, it stands that he lost the election to Joe Biden. He's tiny voter fraud. Then it's very possible, the numbers don't seem to add up, that he got 7-8 million more votes than Trump. But either way, it looks like Trump's first term is coming to an end, or Trump's presidency is coming to an end next month. But in any event, the biggest accomplishment, the thing that he lost on, and they clobbered him on, was this biggest accomplishment, which is actually a success, that he managed to get the coronavirus under control, in the sense that yes, it's spreading, and yes, people are passing away, and yes, people are still getting it. However, he managed to get a coronavirus vaccine start to be distributed out to first responders already in the beginning of this week. The vice president took it, Mike Pence, Joe Biden took it, the members of the medical field have already begun to take it. So the vaccine is out there. The light of the end of the tunnel is within reach. We Baruch Hashem are able to see an end to it, and hopefully by Purim Pesach, enough people would have had it already to go back to the way it was, before. And hopefully this Purim will be able to have a normal Purim again. Hopefully, and if not by Purim, hopefully Pesach. And camps are already planning to reopen as normal. Masking is still necessary. Not everybody in Crown Heights is into it. I still have my mask over here, and the Hanukkah party caused some complications. Chani wasn't able to attend with her family because she tested positive for coronavirus. Tati didn't attend the Hanukkah party as a precaution. And Baruch Hashem, der Rebbe soll abbieten weiter, Larichus Yomim v'Shem Tevis, as the Tati soll sein gesund und stark. Amen. But anyhow, that's the update. Obviously, with the tranching out of the vaccine comes a lot of political unrest. Who should get it first? The Democrats want to give it specifically to black communities first. Some reason for racial inequality. I'm not sure what that's supposed to do with anything, because they say that black people get sick more often. That's because they have more underlying conditions. However, if you have an underlying condition and you're young, you have a better chance of surviving than whether you're older. So really, it should be going to the elderly first. But that I'll leave to Ben Shapiro and the other political pundits to break down. As we stand now, the end, Baruch Hashem, is within sight. Yes, there's been an uptick in coronavirus infections in Crown Heights. For the most part, Baruch Hashem, people are okay. Yudi Dukes has been in and out of the hospital. He came home and he went back in and he came home again. Rabbi Goldstein, Baruch Hashem, is home. On Yutes Kislev, or Lechav Kislev, they had the Siyum Sefer Torah for the Sefer Torah of Achdus, the United for Protection Sefer Torah here in Beis Rivka. I was privileged enough to attend. It was a very, very nice event, and they also are working on a second Sefer Torah as well. With that being said, that's basically the story. I remember when Leibke was born, I don't know if I spoke about this yet, but when Leibke was born, on Tez Zayin Elul, it was still in the midst of Corona. When we were in the hospital, we had to officially be with our masks the entire time, to the extent that they did not let me into the room with Chana until after the baby was born. I spent all the time that I was in the hospital out in the waiting room saying Tillim, obviously with a mask. Every time you go into an Uber now, you have to wear a mask. Every time you go into a store, a department store, you have to wear a mask. The local stores in Crown Heights, some are more strict than others, but the outdoor minyanim are still going on in some places. That's really it. If anything else comes to mind, I'll give another update. But that's what we're holding now. In Tavis, almost a year later, the vaccine has already been going out. There are 2 vaccines on the market: the Pfizer vaccine and the Moderna vaccine. Both of them require 2 doses, and the J&J vaccine, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, should be coming online in the next couple of days. There is talk of a new coronavirus strain which is more contagious than the current one. That being the case, I don't know how effective this vaccine that they currently have will be, but it's at least worth a shot. Dr. Rosen told Chana that we're going to be the last ones to be getting the vaccine. Baruch Hashem, I don't have an issue with that. We had it. Baruch Hashem, we're gesund. I'd rather give it to the elderly and those that are more at risk to getting chas v'shalom, this infection in a very serious way. That's basically it. Neim Shustal Hapiten should be with Hatzlacha, and the ultimate vaccine, the ultimate relief will come with the Geula Mitzvah Shlema Yedei Mashiach Tzidkenu B'Mheira Yameinu Mamash now. Amen. Chaim.